All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Angelina Buseri, and I'm excited to share my experience in the WSU Equitable Urban Forest Summer Internship. Over the course of this internship, I have gained hands-on experience in urban forestry, conducted field research, and developed a deeper understanding of the vital role trees play in our communities, especially when it comes to equity and access. A little about me first. I grew up in the Pennsylvania forest as a latchkey kid, moved to Spokane when I was 10, where I've resided ever since. Graduated high school, and then I went to Job Corps, where I got my pharmacy technician license. I then worked for Rite Aid Pharmacy for over 14 years as a lead pharmacy technician and trainer. After my experience with the pandemic, I decided to go back to school in the fall of 2021. I enrolled at the Spokane Community College in the Greenhouse Nursery Management Program. Once classes began, I became immersed. I began adding more and more classes, becoming super involved with the horticulture club, becoming the secretary, and eventually the vice president. In June of 2023, I graduated with that greenhouse degree, but I knew I wasn't done yet. So that summer, I worked for the City of Spokane Parks and Recreation at the Moore Turner Heritage Gardens as a groundskeeper. Then that fall, I went back to SEC and collected 4 more Associate of Science degrees over the next 2 years, finishing in June of this year with a total of 5 degrees in 4 years. Bringing us to present time, where I've had the honor of participating in this internship. I applied for this internship because I have a passion for trees and nature and believe everyone should have the opportunity to reap these benefits. With this understanding, I have treated this internship as a stepping stone to future employment. My main weekly tasks have included attending Zoom meetings, participating in group discussions, and performing tree inventories across Spokane. I have also gained experience gained experience analyzing data while reporting on tree health and safety, learning how to use a digital rangefinder, and improving my species recognition were major skill boosters. During this internship, I have worked on 3 core projects. First, the Community Spaces Project, which studied tree canopy coverage in areas serving the public, like libraries, elementary schools, and grocery stores. I must admit, it was a bit alarming to find the amount of poor trees within our communities. Many of the trees were suffering from lack or excessive amounts of irrigation, or just plain old the wrong plant in the wrong spot. For the second project, I got the opportunity to work with 2 community partners. The first was the Spokane Conservation District, building gabions and sitting in on an ISA accredited class focusing on ethics, tree pruning, and safety, led by Jim Flott of the Community Forestry Consultants. The second community partner I worked with was the City of Spokane Parks and Recreation, meeting with the urban foresters Katie Kosenki and Amber Ramirez, who guided me into performing a tree inventory of downtown Spokane. This inventory highlighted trees in poor to dead standing and whether the protective grates were of any safety concern to the tree or to the public. The third project I worked on was my independent project. I focused on identifying 85 large trees throughout the city of Spokane with trunk diameters of 53 inches or more. Data was gathered using the City of Spokane OpenGIS data and the software application iNaturalist. The reason I chose this project was because it seems everyone is focused on planting trees. I want to know what we're doing to keep the trees we've got now. The intention of my project was to highlight where these trees reside, its state of health, who maintains them, if any, and what the plan is to keep these trees alive. Using the mapping site Tree Equity Score created by the American Forest, I was able to identify areas throughout Spokane where tree canopy gaps occur. Scores range from 0 to 100, where the lower the score, the greater the need for trees, and the higher the priority to be addressed in that area. The greener the shade, the higher the score. The more orange the shade, the more the rise for concern. Identifying these areas begins the conversation to improving my city's canopy coverage for future. In the next few slides, I will show you some of the interesting things I came upon, like this silver maple with the squirrel crossing. Look at how the root system is encroaching on the already modified sidewalk. Residing in an area that has a tree equity score of 91, the maple is beginning to show signs of dieback. Preventative measures need to be taken to reduce girdling and further distress. Here, I found a western gall rust and mistletoe on these 6 western ponderosa pines, right in the heart of the South Hill. I was shocked at first, couldn't believe what I was seeing. I had never seen it up close, only in pictures. Though the tree equity score for this area is 92, my concern is that these 2 diseases have the possibility of spreading to other conifers throughout the neighborhood, causing further destruction to Spokane's tree's canopy. On 3 separate occasions, I spent the day inventorying Pacific willows along the Spokane River. Some of them were glorious, the smallest having just 4 liters and the largest having 11, though I did come across several stumps along the way. What was most surprising was the amount of biodiversity within the microclimates of these trees. From the forbs to the insects to the marine life, I would sometimes forget I was in the heart of the city. Hard to believe this area had a tree equity score of 67, yet also disheartening. Being immersed in nature was freeing and calming and blissfully appreciated. We all should be so lucky. Many of these willows I came across had large diameter cuts, were full of adventitious sprouts and epicormic shoots, and experiencing signs of dieback. A number of the trees had their feeder roots exposed, which causes concern with the water levels at record lows and our temperatures at record highs. These weeping willows at the Hazels Creek Drainage and Conservation Facility are located behind Ferris High School in an area that has a tree equity score of 71. The amount of trash and debris I found wasn't surprising after visiting many other unmaintained public sites. These large tree canopies provide relief from the elements, but suffer abuse from those who light fires, graffiti them, rip off branches creating wounds, and leave behind their waste. Here, we have a cottonwood with a DBH of over 75 inches in an area with a tree equity of 67. Not the largest DBH I found, but this massive specimen lies between 2 private residences. I spoke with one of the homeowners, and she stated that this tree is over 100 years old. Preserving trees is crucial, especially in areas like this with large tree canopy gaps. I came across 8 London plane trees in this project. Over half of them had trunks lifting the pavement around them. Understanding the size of a tree at its full maturity when planting is a crucial step in establishing a successful tree. Limiting the available space a tree can expand limits the tree's full potential and can cause the city and property owners a pretty penny. Through education and understanding, we can hope to preserve these trees who need root system protection. That is why my concern is to preserve the trees we currently have while we continue to expand tree canopies. How do we expect to have newly planted trees grow to their full potential if we don't protect the ones we have now? After analyzing the data I collected, I found that over 56% of the trees inventoried are in high priority areas, meaning that they're in areas with a tree equity score of 79 or less. Out of those 47 trees with high or highest priority, 83% of them are within red line areas. This map layer is available on the Tree Equity Score site and highlights areas of Spokane where redlining occurs. 60% of the trees I found are in the D grade, highlighting the difficulty others have faced in becoming homeowners over the past 90 years and why the amount of neglected trees are so prominent in these areas. This internship opened my eyes to how policy and public awareness, or lack thereof, can directly impact tree canopy equity. When we teach others the valuable benefits trees provide and how to properly care for them, we create conversation that can inspire change. Until everyone can come to an understanding of the importances that trees provide, we will continue to lose our vital trees. This internship didn't just teach me field skills, it clarified my goals. I'm now more committed to working in a space where I can make a real difference, specifically through community outreach and environmental equity. I'm walking away with this knowledge, stronger convictions, and the motivation to keep planting seeds for the sustainable future. Funding for this project was provided by the USDA Forest Service Inflation Reduction Act, and I would like to thank Tim, Joey, and Zay and Zarina for supporting and guiding me through this internship. I truly appreciate everyone for being patient with me. Thank you to Cindy DeFay for recommending that I apply for this internship. I would also like to thank the Spokane Conservation District and the City of Spokane and Rec for allowing me to partner with them during this internship. And thank you to everyone who is in attendance today. The end.